Hey guys, welcome to my Teamfight Tactics tutorial for positioning part 1. And this is going to be about BLITZCRANK, how you can play against him. So he's a very unique champion in this game. He has a special ability called Rocket Grab. BLITZCRANK pulls the furthest enemy to him, dealing magic damage and stunning them for 2.5 seconds. And he also knocks the champion that he grabs. So his ability can be quite annoying, and it can be a very serious threat to your team. If BLITZCRANK lands and kills your carry, your team's most likely going to die and you're probably going to lose the round. BLITZCRANK can really turn around a lot of those rounds that you could have possibly won, but if you misposition your carry and this guy grabs your carry and he dies in the first 3 seconds, it's over for you. So I'm going to use this as an example. Just imagine this board to be this side of the board, the first 2 rows to be your opponent's side, and the last 2 rows right here to be your side of the board. So let's say your opponent had a BLITZCRANK and he put him on this side of the corner. His ability will pull the champion that's furthest away from him. You have 3 champions. You have Caitlyn, Graves, Jhin. That's your team right now. Who will he pull in this scenario? He's going to pull Jhin. He's not going to pull Caitlyn or Graves because Jhin is the furthest one away from Blitz. So what's going to happen is at the start of the turn, Blitz is going to grab Jhin, and Jin's going to fly all the way here. He's going to get hit with the BLITZCRANK punch, so Jhin will get stunned for like 2 seconds. And what's going to happen is if your opponent has his team close to BLITZCRANK, they're going to fire on the closest champion to them. And because Jhin is the closest champion to BLITZCRANK's team, they're going to focus and kill Jhin. And what's going to happen is you don't have your carry anymore because you're probably going to give Jhin all your items. Let's say if you had a strong sniper team, because Jhin is the strongest sniper in the game, you're going to lose your carry with all the items that you built on him, and you're going to lose the game. So it's important to play around BLITZCRANKs. First thing you need to do is scout your enemy boards. So to scout, just check out their other boards. Click on their icons, on the summer icon, or you can press R. R is the hotkey to scout other enemies' boards, and you can see where the BLITZCRANK's positioned. If he's over here, then Caitlyn's gonna get pulled, which is great in this case because you don't want Jhin to get pulled. So right now we want to protect the Jhin. If Caitlyn gets pulled because BLITZCRANK is furthest away from Caitlyn, that's fine. Then you don't have to reposition here, for example. But if BLITZCRANK was standing here, you scouted your opponent and you saw that his BLITZCRANK's here and you want to protect Jhin, you better protect him, or if you fight him in the next round, you're most likely going to lose if Jhin gets pulled. So let's talk about how you can protect Jhin now. So once you've scouted your opponent and you've found out what your opponent's BLITZCRANK is, and you see that the BLITZCRANK is standing here, for example, what I would recommend is use one of your weaker backline carries. So Jhin is a backline carry, which means he's not a frontline champion. If he was a frontline champion, he'd be standing right in the middle on the top here. But Jhin doesn't want to be there. He wants to abuse his range, so he's going to stand all the way in the back, and you're going to use, let's say, another sniper support like Caitlyn or Ashe that are usually in his sniper teams. Put Caitlyn, for example, on the most furthest corner, and then put Jhin right next to Caitlyn, so Caitlyn gets pulled by BLITZCRANK, Jhin does not, and Jhin can still abuse his range from far away and take down his opponents from here, from this spot. Some BLITZCRANK players will actually try to trick you. So what they might do is you scout the board and you see that the BLITZCRANK is on this side, but before the next turn starts, maybe at the last 3 seconds, what he might do is he might do this. He might move him all the way over on the other side. And then if you unfortunately fight him and you thought that he was going to pull Caitlyn because he was standing here, he's actually going to pull Jhin because now Jin's the furthest one away from BLITZCRANK. So you really want to be careful around BLITZCRANK players. Some players out there are smart enough to wait until the last 3 seconds because a lot of low players, for example, they don't scout and they don't predict what their opponents might do. Smarter players will move around their BLITZCRANK constantly every couple of seconds to trick you. So keep this in mind. He might have his BLITZCRANK here, but he might move it here in the last 3 seconds. So what you could do in this case is leave Caitlyn here. You can move the Karma here and Jhin right there. So even if he moved it over here, he's going to pull Karma. He's always going to pull the Karma, or even if he leaves his BLITZCRANK here, he's going to either pull Caitlyn or Karma, or if he leaves his BLITZCRANK on this side, he's going to pull the Caitlyn, but he's never going to touch the Jhin. That's the most important part, is to protect the Jhin. As long as Jhin doesn't get pulled, you're fine. So the best thing to do against Blitzcrank players, and just expect in every game you will see 1 to 3 players running Blitzcrank because he's a very good champion in this game and brawlers are really good. So just expect to just play against a couple of Blitzcrank players. Even without scouting, I always play against him, no matter play around him as well, no matter what. So I'll always leave Jin somewhere in the middle here, within the middle 5 hexes, and have someone I don't mind getting pulled in the corner. Always. I'll always leave Caitlyn or Karma in the corner. Now, one more thing I want to talk about is some Blitzcrank players will build this item called the Zephyr, and I'm going to put the Zephyr on Blitzcrank. When combat begins, the wearer summons a whirlwind on the opposite side of the arena that removes the closest enemy from combat for 5 seconds. So this combo is a very strong combo on Blitzcrank. The reason why is, let's say his Blitzcrank was here. This item is going to remove a champion on this hex because this is where Blitzcrank is standing. So if you were to flip the board, Blitzcrank is actually standing here. So the Zephyr takes out the champion on where Blitzcrank is standing because Blitzcrank is holding the Zephyr. So he's actually going to Zephyr Karma, not Caitlyn, because if you flip the board, Blitzcrank is actually standing here. So keep in mind, if anyone has a Zephyr on the Blitzcrank, know that he's going to target someone on his hex. And what's going to happen is he's going to take out Karma. Karma's going to be taken out, and then Jin gets pulled. You see what happened? He takes out the Karma, and then he pulls the Jin. So your Jin is dead. And this is a very clever combo that higher elo players use. Usually the lower players, you won't encounter this too much, but sometimes you will. So really watch out for this, because you might think, wait, he was supposed to pull my Jin, but he ends up, sorry, you might think that he was supposed to pull your Karma, but you won't realize that because he had a Zephyr, he actually ended up pulling your Jin, and you're going to be like, what the heck just happened? So if he has a Zephyr, you really need to watch out for this. So in this case, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to put someone else here like this, for example, Darius. Maybe you could put Karma in the middle here. And what's going to happen is, you're going to have to maybe do something like this. What's going to happen is he's going to Zephyr to Darius, and then he's going to end up pulling the Karma. You'll have to take extra steps to protect yourself against the Zephyr Blitzcrank combo. This is a scary combo. It's real. I see this combo being used a lot, especially in high elo where I'm playing in, but you may encounter this in low to mid elo as well. So this is how you play around Blitzcrank. I pretty much gave you guys all the tips on how you can position yourself against them. Sometimes your opponent will put Blitzcranks all the way in the front. They might put them in the back, but regardless of where he puts his Blitzcrank, he's always going to pull the champion that's furthest away from him. So make sure you're scouting to see where your opponent put their Blitzcrank and see if he has a Zephyr on his head, because that's going to be tricky to play around. But as long as you guys follow my tips here by keeping 2 guys in the corner and putting Jin or any of your carries somewhere in the middle here, you should be fine in most cases. But once again, keep scouting. Try to predict where your opponent puts your Blitzcrank, because he can certainly be a headache for some of the newer players out there, which I get. So let me know if this guide once again helped you guys play around Blitzcrank. If you guys want more tutorials, I'll be back as well for sure. And I'll see you guys next time.